Hi everyone, welcome to our weekly video. So this is a second take because made a schoolboy error. We shot it last week. This video is all about Kuala Lumpur, so we shot it from Kuala Lumpur, didn't we?
We
Did a
certainly
great
did.
job.
Sat round the pool, yeah.
So spent all ages doing it, and I've just gone now to do the editing of it. And unfortunately, Gillian's microphone wasn't working properly, so you get a lot of mumble on it. So here we go again. So this week we're talking to you about Kuala Lumpur, and you'll just have to pretend that we're still in Kuala Lumpur, but we're not.
Yeah, we've got a favourite hotel now when we stay there, which we recommend to everybody, particularly for stopovers, because KL's a perfect hub if you're going to see anywhere in Asia. Really, it has lots and lots of flights, and it's really easily accessible. So we stay at one. It's called the Ibis Styles in Sepang. And literally, if you'd have been watching the video that we shot last week, it kept getting very noisy because there's planes that fly over just in front of you while you sat on your sun lounger. It's perfect.
Yeah, there is, which at least it's eliminated that bit of it anyway by doing this here, hasn't it? Yeah, the airport's, the hotel's great. They do a shuttle bus sometimes every hour. Occasionally, it depends on the time. Sometimes every 2 hours, so you can pick up the shuttle bus. Or if you jump into an Uber or something like that, it's about 5 to 10 minutes away. So it's a great base.
The shuttle buses from the hotel, they're totally free, and if you are staying for a couple of days, you can use them anytime you want. There's also a shuttle bus that takes you. There's a local shopping centre, isn't there? That's about 10 minutes away. So you can get on that to the shopping centre, and then it also brings you back as well. So it is perfect for that.
Yeah, so there's a big outlet mall that's just around the corner. They also do a shuttle to there each day as well. So lots of options. And it's just a great airport. And if you've only got like a night stopover, it's perfect. Huge pool, nice bar and restaurant. And let's cover that straight away, because you've got to remember that Malaysia is a Muslim country, and so that the purchasing of alcohol is more limited there. So it's generally in the better hotels, or if in the city, a lot of the restaurants serve it, but you're not going to find it just in general. So if you are there and thinking, oh well, we've got a night to spare, we'll have a few drinks, you might not. You need to check before. But it's Western food and mixed with Asian food, and it's just great.
But they remind me a little bit of a Premier Inn. You kind of know what you're getting. You know you're guaranteed a really comfortable bed and a really comfortable stay. You've no questioning about that. It is what it is. It's really good.
But
there's a spa.
And there's a spa. The disadvantage of it, Kuala Lumpur Airport's about an hour away from the city if you go by bus. They've got a high-speed train that you can get that goes directly from the airport that takes about 40 minutes. But if you're really wanting to see the sights, and that's what we're going to talk to you about now, is some of the sights, because Kuala Lumpur is just an amazing city to visit and so many things to see. If you're going to do a couple of nights, I think you might want to consider staying in the city, might you? And again, you've got all sorts of options in there, from high-class hotels to, we've done Airbnb apartments, haven't we, when we've stayed?
Yeah, there's so much variety out there. Lots of options.
Yeah, there is, and a good transport system. So let's start talking then about visiting KL. Obviously, there's the Petronas Towers. Easy for me to say, which everybody comes, and you've got to have your video or your photo taken in front. And there's also lots of people around who will offer to take your photo for you. Great to see at night, great to see during the day. There's right next door to it is something called an urban jungle, where you can go. They charge a bit more for tourists than they do for locals, but you can go in and see all sorts of wildlife, and it's right by the towers. So that's a nice, easy one. But the place that I think everybody sort of wants to go and see, isn't it? The real tourist one is to go out to the Batu Caves, isn't it?
Yeah, when you get to the Batu Caves, there's a huge gold statue which we've had our photo taken in front of, and that does actually make your jaw drop. I mean, we've seen lots of statues around Asia, as you know, we've been all over, but that really, it is breathtaking. And then obviously there are the steps, of which there are 272 of them to climb to get to the caves. But it's well worth doing. It's not easy. Fighting the monkeys as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to dodge the monkeys on the way up, because they will steal anything.
Don't have your sunglasses or hats shots or anything because they'll be gone.
No. The thing is with the Batu Caves, they're very easy to get to, but they're a distance out. So even from when you're in the city centre, you just go on a normal, like a tube train, to go to it. But it's a good, I think it's 40 minutes to an hour out. But as soon as you get off the train, they're there in front of you. And as Gillian says, absolutely breathtaking. If you don't want to go out that far, or you've got a bit longer, then you're going to want to consider some of the sites in the city, and of which there's some amazing things you can do, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there certainly are. One of the best places to go and visit is Chinatown, where there is some absolutely amazing street art. I must say,
Graffiti.
it's street art.
Oh.
I must say, we've been, but we didn't take photographs, so we've borrowed our friends from Sarah first. Thank you, Sarah. So these are her photographs that we've put on there. But the street art actually tells the story of Kuala Lumpur. Its history, it's a mixture of Chinese, Malay, and Indian, and the murals depict everything from that era. I think it started in 1960 right up to the current day. So you will see, if you look through the photographs, some absolutely stunning murals that have been painted.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some wonderful buildings there, some great architecture. It depends on what you're interested in. If you've just come over to Asia, then KL's a great first stopping place and a great way to get used to the shopping, because there's a lot of shopping, isn't there?
There is a lot of shopping, and as Andrew said, the Petronas Towers, they're amazing just to look at in themselves. But when you're inside, you could be in Dubai, in a Dubai shopping mall. And if you get in there, it's really difficult to know which one you're in, and very, very easy to get lost. We've spent, I don't know how long in there, aren't we, going, where are we?
Yeah.
And coming out the wrong one, which takes you to the wrong side of where you want to be.
All the high-end shops are there, all the eateries you can think of, everything, they're all there. And worth mentioning, Gillian's just mentioned Dubai there. Obviously, at the moment, if you're wanting to avoid the UAE, KL's another great place, because you can get a direct flight to KL from the UK and from most cities in Europe. So that's a worthwhile. A lot of people are doing that at the moment, and avoiding going via the UAE. So that's worth thinking about. So nighttime. Okay, so we said, yeah, it's a Muslim city, but it's got just about everything, hasn't it? And things that you can do. Do you want to tell them our find that we made?
Well, we did quite a few. I'll do Frank's last. But first of all, when we were looking out, there are plenty of Indians, but again, being a Muslim country, a lot of them, I mean, they do in the UK. You have to take your own alcohol if you want to do it, which a lot of them are not licensed, because I would imagine, being a Muslim country, it'll cost them an arm and a leg, won't it? But when you go inside some of the malls, we found the Argentinian big buffet that we got, and you've never seen as much meat that they come round. You could walk out of there like a big balloon, couldn't you? There are lots of nice places to eat, but we found Frank's bar, didn't we, which is a speakeasy. And speakeasies are renowned for being hard to find. And Andrew found this. He knew what level it was on in this particular mall. We walked up and down, round and round, and he was looking on reviews and said, well, somebody was here yesterday, it must be here. And eventually we found it by going through a pizza restaurant to the back.
Yeah, there was an Italian restaurant, and I said, well, it says something, it's associated with this Italian restaurant. So we actually walked into the Italian. They were trying to find us a table, and we just said, Frank's? And they said, and sort of just went, and we followed them, and we went through the back entrance.
You are supposed to find a fedora hat and ring a bell. We never actually found that. But we found it through a pizza restaurant, the back door. But anyway, we got there, didn't we?
We did, and it was amazing. I mean, when we got in, because it was I suppose if I had imagined what a New York bar would have been like, Frank Sinatra's playing on the music system.
They even have a Frank Sinatra signature cocktail, don't they?
They do. I'd highly recommend booking for it. I mean, we were only able to sit at the bar, and luckily they
Yeah.
found us a couple of seats. But if you book, then you can have a table, and you know they'll just come. They do a little bit of food, don't they? I mean, it's more tapasy type
Yeah.
things, but a great one for an
Lovely
experience.
ambience, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Really
It was
nice.
fantastic. Yeah. So that sort of stuff that sort of covers just a few little bits and pieces in relation to it. There's so much you can explore, isn't there, in Kuala
But if
Lumpur?
you find yourself in Terminal 1 at the airport, we talked about there's quite a big botanical gardens in Kuala Lumpur in the Twin Towers. There's also one at Terminal 1,
There is.
which we were at Terminal 1, but unfortunately it's only open something like 9 until 6. And I think we were there at 9 at night, so we didn't actually get to experience it ourselves. I think that's totally free, isn't it, that one?
That's free. Even has people. Everybody comments on it. It has a waterfall inside it. So inside the terminal building is a botanical gardens with its own waterfall.
Yeah, so if you do find yourself in Terminal 1, definitely pass a little bit of time there, and it's certainly better than sitting in an airport seat.
And the other thing, final thing I'd want to mention for you, if flying from the UK, um, we have an agreement with Malaysia, so that when you get there, all you have to do is go online. Be very careful because the pre-registration you can only do it 72 hours before. I say be careful because again, there's these scammers on there that are all trying to charge you for getting their visa. It's totally free. There's a free entry thing with it. You just go on, you just stick your details in. It takes a couple of minutes. You immediately get an email telling you've got it, and that means when you get there, you can go straight through the entry gates. Now again, you've got to look. It's got the UK flag up on it, but you just got to have a look. Go through that entry gate and you're straight in. And again, coming out is straight out. None of these big queues that you have in cities. I mean, we were amazed. We were literally off the plane and through immigration in minutes. Took a lot longer for the bag to get there, but actually the actual getting immigration bit. So again, it's a fantastic airport. So yeah, it's really our summary, isn't it?
It is, yeah, for this week. Now we're back in Europe, but we'll still be talking Asia over the next few weeks.
We will. So if you get a chance, go to KL. You never know, you might bump into us. We're often going through there on our travels. Have a great week, and we'll speak to you again next week.
Bye.